Brian Zins here at NRA headquarters with Shooting Sports USA. Today I want to talk a little bit about shooting positions when it comes to NRA precision pistol. I understand that everybody's bodies are a little bit different. Everybody's got physical limitations. When we go to some of these matches, that the range that we're on may be, the firing position might get a little bit of an angle up, down, whatever, or you might have your foot in the hole if you're shooting a camp period per se. But there are things, not everybody's position is going to be the same because everybody's muscle tone is different. Everybody's range of flexibility is different than everybody else. But there are things, regardless of what you may experience as an individual, that you should try to at least get when looking at your position for shooting precision pistol. Okay, so obviously feet approximately shoulder width apart, give or take. Again, depending on you. 45-degree angle to the target is a great starting place. It's not a rule of thumb. If you're a little more flexible, you might be able to stand completely bladed to the target and turn your head a little bit more. I was younger, I could do that. I don't do that so much anymore. I don't want to get too much further turned around and be flush with the shooting bench or the targets, because now we get into sustained fire, you're going to start rocking back on your heels a little bit, okay? So 45 degrees, again, good starting place, and I wouldn't go any further than that. All right? So the key that we're trying to get, though, with our position is to have a good solid foundation that when we're shooting sustained fire, that our body's going to be able to absorb that recoil. Okay? So smaller people, children, skinny people, whatever, you may need to get a little bit more of your body behind the gun to help absorb that recoil. Bigger guys, we might be able to get around this way. And we may not be as flexible, so we're going to stand a little bit more towards that 45 degrees. And our upper body and everything can help absorb the recoil. The key is, notice, while I'm standing here, shoulders over my hips, over my knees, over my feet. When I bring the gun up, the last thing I want to do is bring the gun up and turn everything to where my shoulders are no longer over my hips aren't over my knees, and my knees are twisted and flexed above my feet. What you've created is a path of least resistance now. So when you're shooting sustained fire, if I'm standing this way, it's going to want to push me and rock the whole body backwards, taking up a lot of your time for recoil recovery and management, getting your sights back on target for follow-on shots. Got it? So, approximately shoulder width apart, feet or the weight evenly distributed across both feet. So when you bring the gun up, it should come to a natural alignment with your eye. We've talked about grip in the past, and you understand that with the right grip, the gun should automatically align directly to the eye. If you bring the gun up and you're not on your target, we don't do this. We don't move the gun to find the center of the target. We move our feet. That's going to be your first movement, is I'm going to move that foot back just a little bit. Notice, if I move my foot, I plant the front foot, my back foot is my first change of left and right, alignment to the target. It also works for elevation. So if I bring the gun up and I find I'm sitting, below the target, all I've got to do, because I'm going to leave this shoulder in the exact same location. I'm centered on the target, but it's low. If I keep that shoulder in the same position and I rock that foot back a little bit, it's naturally going to raise the front of the gun. Same thing, if I bring it a little bit closer, as long as the angle of my shoulder stays the same, the front's going to drop down. Okay? Your shooting position should be natural and repeatable. The only way to shoot 10 after 10 after 10 after 10 is to be doing everything consistently, doing everything the same way each time. If you're moving your body, you're moving your feet, and you're back here dancing around in between shots and slow fire without unloading and dry firing, how can you possibly be consistent in your position? You can't. Get your position to where it works, adjust as needed, get everything lined up right, and don't move. This is it. Stick with that position. Okay? Often my position is my first change of my sights. If I find I'm grouping a little bit left or a little bit right, I might just move that foot inside my boot just a little bit before I go to my screwdriver. If your position's good and your zero's solid, you should have very little windage change on your sights. Okay? So again, feet shoulder width apart, shoulders over your hips, over your knees, over your feet. weight evenly distributed. Once the gun comes up the shoulder, we don't move here, we don't move here. We bring the gun up, we adjust everything down below. All right, stay tuned, we got more coming up.